Welcome to Florida Real Estate Profits, where we're doing our best to give you an unfiltered view into how to make money in Florida real estate. Today, we're talking about the interest rate environment, the thing that everybody's talking about who's looking at buying real estate. And if you're considering moving to Florida or buying real estate in Florida, how should you think about the current interest rate environment? Guy Bouchard, what are your thoughts?
It's really interesting because everybody that I heard in the past was talking about how this was going to be a temporary thing. It would cool down inflation and then rates would drop down again. Now all of a sudden we're a year down the road and it is a little bit unsure. So some of what we're thinking and what buyers are thinking is, hey, I'm going to lock in now. And if what they projected in the past is going to happen, I'll just refinance. But also if I buy right now, I've also prevented, if rates do soar for whatever reason, war in Ukraine, a million different things going on in the world, banking crisis again. Now at least you've locked in at this rate, because if things go up too much more, it's going to be much more expensive to own real estate. So as it's evolving and the future is a little more unclear, I think that if people have the wherewithal, it is a great time to buy. And as we talked about in other videos, if you wait and you're looking for something that's unique in Florida, those prices could go up more than the rate benefit of buying down the road. The other thing I would add is if you're considering a investment property or a second home, vacation home, if we do get inflation, the rents are going to go up. That's the good news, is we've seen that over the years. We sold homes at much lower prices and where they were cash flowing okay. And then fast forward the tape 10 years down the road, and all of a sudden the rental rates are much higher. We've recently seen a big increase in long-term rental rates. Some of that is regional. But yeah, I think we could argue that Central Florida and Southwest Florida, and even I'd say all the West Coast of Florida, has seen a real jump in long-term rental rates. And we're hearing that the builders are still booming. So that's a whole different conversation. I just read an article this morning that builders are doing well. They didn't get caught like they did last time with a lot of inventory, and people still want new, and people that are in their homes, a lot of them have super low interest rates that are locked in long term, so they're not overly anxious to sell. So the building cycle is still going pretty well. So I think interest rates, you have to factor it in, and if you can afford to and you really want to make a move, then I would deeply consider doing it quickly, right? I don't see any huge advantage of waiting unless your crystal ball is telling you that rates are going to dive real quickly.
Great points. Yeah, in the beginning when rates started to tick up, it felt like, oh, this was just a somewhat temporary, transitory thing. Now, it doesn't necessarily look like it could be the case. We obviously don't know, but it just seems like these may be here to stay longer and may even go higher. So we had a little pause for a lot of people who were looking to invest, and now we're seeing more saying, hey, can't wait around on this anymore. When I look at the big picture, like you said, I don't want to get priced out of certain markets that continue to kind of appreciate over time. And knowing that for certain properties, you're going to be able to still cash flow pretty well, offset your expenses if it's a second home, and then refi when rates drop back down. So, Michael, any other thoughts on interest rate environment?
I would say there are different programs for different lenders to take advantage of. I was just talking to my lender yesterday, and they have a 3-2-1 buy down for a seller to offer as an incentive, where you get 3% off your interest rate on the first year of purchasing, 2% on the second, 1% on the third. So that's a good program. If you believe interest rates will be down in 3 years, you can always refi out of that. Also, some of the builders that I'm talking to are willing to buy down your interest rates. So, that will help if you're in the market for a new community. Some of the builders that do have a little bit of homes they're sitting on are willing to wheel and deal right now, which is also great. So there are a couple different ways to buy and make it make sense in today's world.
Great stuff. With that, we'll let you guys go and see you in the next episode.
Thank you.
Thank you.